to learn their lesson.
Did his feet flex the shoes and socks off?
I was a runner in college.
He doesn't smell good. He's been dead for months.
You can't do all these things and then not do it.
Watch his hand. Look at that. Look at that. He turns the dial to like 11.
I mean,
yeah.
We're done. He's done. That's it. Game over.
All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Legion of Comic Correction. This is the show where we dive into different iterations of comic book classics. We talk about how they failed their source material. We talk about how they botched their iconic characters and utterly embarrassed true comic book fans.
We review movies, TV shows, renegade comic book runs, video games, you name it, we are going to review it. But we are not looking for those things that really hit it out of the park. We're looking for those things that people believe are so amazing, but are actually just utter trash. If you need a voice for comic book adaptation frustration, we are that voice. This is the place for you. If that's not what you're looking for, then I don't know why you're here. So as always, like and subscribe, and let's jump into our offender for today.
It's good to see you playing well with others again.
Just like a bat. I dig it.
My name's Logan, and I got my PhD in comic book accuracy from the University of Comic Correctness. And as always, with me, I have my good friend here.
I'm Greg, and they call me the Grand Master of Comic Correction. We're jumping into Justice League, and we're going to talk a little bit about why we picked such an important movie. Budget and gross, the money, right? It's about the money. We all got to figure out, that we think, since you're on this channel, we think this movie is no good. We think this movie bombed. But it didn't bomb money-wise. It took a lot of our money. It took my money.
Took a lot of my money.
I paid Amazon to watch this movie and review it for you guys, so it's still taking my money. But regardless, Justice League grossed $229 million in the United States and in Canada, and $428.9 million in other territories, for a total worldwide of $657.9 million. Now that was coming alongside just a $300 million budget. The 24th biggest movie opening of all time.
This also, I do not understand this, and this is something I told Greg from the very beginning of this that I wanted to dig into. The casting on this movie was absolutely phenomenal. It was an absolute travesty to waste the casting that we had. We had Ben Affleck as Batman, Jason Momoa, playing his career, probably what he was born to play in Aquaman. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, who we already know killed it in Wonder Woman. Henry Cavill as Superman, Ray Fisher as Cyborg, and Ezra Miller as The Flash. Now that's just your core Justice League. Diane Keaton as Martha Kent, Jeremy Irons as Alfred, J.K. Simmons, Oscar winner as James Gordon. Anybody should have been able to write a script for these people. They should have just been allowed to just research and read the comic books and then act it out on screen, and this would have been better than what we got.
Casting seemed like it was like a no-brainer. It was just, everything kind of fit.
I know for me, I know for Greg, this was our Avengers. Justice League I am a huge diehard DC fan. I still read Marvel. I still love Marvel. But DC was what I grew up on. DC was my jam. Batman is my guy. I couldn't have been more excited for a single film than this film.
And the trailers started dropping, and we saw trailers that they came out, and they looked great. And you saw them starting to introduce all these characters, and you saw
oh my gosh, the trailers up so high.
Oh, it was incredible. And I was like, all right, maybe they're actually going to do something, because they're moving away from what they had done in the past. They're trying to get like a group movie together. Okay, maybe. It feels a little rushed, but I'll put down my money. I'll go out. It was terrible. I walked out of that theater thinking, really? This was all that they had to work with?
So before we talk, or before we go into any movie and we watch it and we break it down and we rip it to shreds, we want to talk about the source material, because that's what we're really here about. We're here about the comics that were supposed to make the movie.
The death of Superman was a huge, I mean, this was like an enormous, monumental run in DC Comics history. I mean, to even think about killing off somebody like Superman was just unbelievable. And then they went on, I've got him here, Superman Returning and the Reign of the Supermen. I mean, this was great. I loved these comics growing up. These were incredible stories about Superman being gone and what that meant to the world.
DC meant to kill Superman and
leave him
permanently leave him dead.
Leave him dead, yeah.
He was donezo.
So we find out in Return of Superman, they find out that he's being, repaired in this Fortress of Solitude, and there's all these different things going on with Kryptonian science, and eventually he comes back and puts down the would-be usurpers of the Superman name, and he brings back this new. It was like a newly breathed in vision of hope that Superman stood for. The reason why it worked so well was because we believed it. We thought he was gone. We thought it was over. We thought everything was done, and it just made it all that more poignant when we waited all that time, and then he comes back. We were allowed to move on in the DC universe, and then to have him come back in such a great way just made it all the more special.
Those were two of them. The next piece that we really dig into are the New 52 comics, specifically the New Gods. The New 52 was a huge run. It was a revitalization of DC Comics. So many people were excited about the new storylines and everything that was coming out of them. You know what they weren't excited about? They weren't excited about Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf is a new god who is the younger brother of Hegra and the uncle of Darkseid. He's a part of Darkseid's elite, but he's also the leader of his military. Does some other cool things. He rides this cool hover bike. But the thing about it is, in the New 52, he briefly appears, which means he's a footnote of this series, of this run that is supposed to be the source material for this movie and set up the New Gods arc. Now, the thing about it is, the New 52 comics specific version of Steppenwolf, he invades an invasion of Earth that actually kills Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman of that Earth. Now, many of you have already watched this film, so you already know some of the pieces that we're going to dig into. I'm going to do a little spoiler alert right now. Batman, Wonder Woman, and guess what? Big surprise here, Superman are alive at the end of this film. We don't actually kick off anything with any new gods because we still get barely any explanation throughout this whole movie of who the new gods are or what the reference is from Steppenwolf and Darkseid. How is this any sort of new gods storyline? Because they started setting it up in Batman v Superman, and then we rush ahead and we don't actually get anything from it.
If they did it well, it should have been a big part. It should have been a big part of what they were building.
So what made this really exciting for a film, though, and for people to go out was it's the first live-action Justice League movie. And like Greg had said, you've got the death of Superman, you've got the return of Superman. These are some of the greatest comic books of all time being mixed in here, too. So these are some of the things that make it incredibly exciting thing for people to come out to, but the source material just isn't showing up anywhere in the movie.
And I mean, on top of all that, even though all these things are coming out that they're when you go and see it and you see that it doesn't line up to the comics, they have all this great source material they didn't actually use, they go through all these different things that, man, if only they would have had this, if only this had been in there, if only that had been in there. On top of all that, if we look at audiences polled at CinemaScore, they gave the film an average of a B+. So that, again, that's gracious. That's not even
beyond gracious. That's beyond gracious.
Yeah.
We're not talking grace anymore. We're not talking feeling bad for a movie.
No,
we're talking about utter lunacy at this point.
Yeah, a B+ means it was good, right? That's what it's a B+. Right, and they gave it an 85% over on Post-Track, an 85% overall positive score with a 69% of definitely go see it. Even though all these things are pointing to, this is not a good movie, people are still saying, this is a great movie, go see it.
It makes absolutely no sense. There were some flags along the way that we probably, those that were who were blinded by DC Justice League, should have picked up on a little bit ahead of time. Obviously, news had come out that Zack Snyder couldn't finish the film. He had to deal with the family tragedy, and we definitely recognize that. That's a noble reason to have to step down from a film like this. Joss Whedon came in. Obviously, we would think this is a guy who worked on Serenity. He led Firefly. He had done a number of Marvel films that were excellent. This is a guy who we can trust here. We can trust putting this into his hands. And then all this news broke of there's so many reshoots, there's so many changes, there's all these things that were too dark that are now getting cleaned up and are being happy-go-lucky. We're essentially told that there's 2 movies out there. And to be honest, there's a lot of people who are crying for a Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League. I got a director's cut of The Watchmen, and I freaking hated it. Well, I'm not really crying for a Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League.
No.
I don't think it's going to be any better than what we got with Joss Whedon. So we're going to kick things off on that note, and we're going to dig into this movie.
All right, let's jump into the actual film, and we're going to go through step by step, talk a little bit about what pains us the most.
Well, Superman. All right, see.
Yeah, wait. I'm out of here. I'm done.
Hit us with Superman? This man is dead.
And he's got that stupid, I mean, I know we've said
This was one of the reshoots. They had to CGI off a mustache.
his Mission Impossible mustache.
How much money did you spend on that?
Apparently not enough, because they did a terrible job.
Yeah.
Now, I know we're not supposed to say nice things about this film, but I do like seeing a little more humanity of Superman here. It was nice. Talking with kids, and that was cool. I like that.
Yeah, it whines. I'm whining from the fact that I have to see Superman right off the bat. Why are bad guys still of the idea that they should shoot at Batman from long distance and expect it to come out?
You gotta try.
What is going to go well for you?
He's gonna brand you twice, and then this.
Oh, no. Remember, he's good now. He's good now. He's not branding people anymore.
That's right. Superman changed him.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
That's right.
Was he tracking the parademon?
Yes. How?
How was he doing that?
If he's tracking a parademon, don't you think that would help with the end of this movie when they are struggling to find Steppenwolf in the mother boxes?
Yeah, because he had a whole mess of parademons.
What technology did you use to track them at that point? Also, why would a parademon be annoyed and frustrated and get so aggravated that they chase it down an alarm from a building?
I'm pretty sure that parademons have way worse noises going on in Apocalypse. I also don't get how a net can hold a parademon, but it's all good.
Why do they explode too?
I think that was like a kamikaze thing. Here's what I don't get. He just flew on that parademon all over the city, and now the thief is on this rooftop. The same thief.
They landed back on the same.
He's running a big circle all around Gotham.
Big circle.
Dropped on.
Same place. This guy knows who he is now. He said Alfred out loud in front of this guy.
Yeah, we're gonna keep. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep a tally. We'll put it up when we edit the video. We're gonna keep a tally of all the times that Bruce Wayne decides to tell everybody that he's Batman,
or give at least enough circumstantial evidence to be like, yo, I think that dude's Bruce Wayne.
That Bruce Wayne is definitely Batman, and he never denies it. I think of Frank Miller, right? The Dark Knight Returns.
Right.
That Batman is old, decrepit, senile, dying Batman.
Right.
And he ends up telling the new Robin who he is by taking off his mask. And Alfred's like, dude, what are you doing? So obviously, at that age, even when Batman's super old, he's still it's out of his character to ever tell anyone who he is. Completely. All right, now, and this.
Oh, yeah.
This gets me. All right, so, last movie, right, Batman v Superman, Superman was pretty new on the scene. Nobody really knew him. Nobody was celebrating him as a hero. And then he dies, and now the whole world is hanging up flags. Did they really like him that much?
We're now saying that when he died, all hope is lost?
Yeah.
All hope just left the world. Our humanity rests on the life of an alien being. We didn't see any other heroes fighting along Superman with Doomsday. Nothing. Yeah. There's nothing to inspire us.
None at all. 'Cause
Terribly
Superman's
low expectations of how humans responded in the face of sadness. Terribly low. Cool.
I wonder how they got all the governments of the world to pay for those giant Superman banners. I'm going to pause it right here just for a minute. Clark Kent's dead. So they buried Clark Kent.
They did.
Which means that if Superman comes back, which, spoiler, he does, how are they going to explain Clark? Now everybody's going to know that Clark Kent is Superman.
I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to hit this with my favorite thing, Greg. I'm going to tell this line. It's coming up. I'm going to just wait for it. Just wait for it to be good here.
All right, I'm waiting for it.
Who are you? We're a small group of reactionary terrorists. We know that sin has brought on this plague of aliens.
Why the hostages?
You're too late.
Every single blessed time a villain says, "You're too late." Never too late. Never been a day or a second late. They are never too late anytime a villain says you're too late. Never.
She does this in 20 seconds? Does she have super speed? She has super speed in the comics? Like, you got to have super speed to do that. She got super speed, and DC just won't admit it.
And like that, you know what they'll chalk it up to is like great agility.
I'm asking for your help. I believe there is a stranger comes to this village from the sea.
How did he grow a beard so fast?
She's got great genes, man.
I guess so. It's just, he's Batman.
Just has those great genes for beard growing. So,
all right, well,
that's all I'm saying. He walks in this room. He already knows which one Aquaman is.
Oh, yeah, he's Batman.
No, not that. He already saw the pictures. Remember, Alfred already showed the pictures of them all. So he already knows this. Why is he playing dumb? He had never, ever seen those photos. I walk in that room. That dude's Aquaman. He is a giant. And he looks wet right now.
He was just
everybody knows him. Also, look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. You're telling me not up with this guy? This guy's Aquaman. Here we go. Number two. Dressed like a bat. It's worked for 20 years in Gotham. We're walking down a side. Like, anyone could be here.
Yep.
Anyone could be here. This is number two. You're just telling people he hasn't even joined the team. But the guy there. There's a guy walking back there. There's another person walking back there. He just called him Batman in front of other people. All of those people know. There's at least 4 other people there who know. Then there's a whole crowd back here. They're right there. They all know his body. Everyone, the whole town just put up. I'm gonna eyeball it. Put up 30 more. This is ridiculous.
All right, again, another example. What a great cast.
Ezra
what
Miller.
An awesome young Barry Allen. Way to ruin him. And now he might never get a Flash movie. I hope he does, because I think he'd do a really good job in it. But, like, that Flashpoint movie's been on hold forever.
They reference Flashpoint all over the place. Batman v Superman, huge reference, but it's also referenced in plenty of other places here. I mean, why would he be going to visit why would they show him going to visit his father as much as they do if they weren't going to do something with Flashpoint?
Yeah, they really do play up this, I gotta save my dad thing.
Oh, this is my thing. Yo, so he literally says you don't need to be up here brooding.
Yeah.
Victor is just a brooding teenager.
True. Not much different.
I don't know
who
I am.
You don't get me.
I might be an alien.
You also resurrected him from the dead and haven't told anybody. So it's kind of weird if you went on the street.
There's a lot of people rising from the dead here, man. We're just... We're doing a lot of people coming back to life. That's the one thing. Up to Death of Superman, if somebody died in the comics, did. After Death of Superman, nobody has died. That is my one, or Return of Superman. That is my one issue with Return of Superman.
Yeah, except for Ben Parker. Rest his soul.
Rest his soul.
That dude was the chillest guy to ever see a parademon.
Like you're gonna, like, my chest up to a parademon? Like,
he had a mop, so I guess you know. So are they Amazonian or Roman? They got like Roman headdress. They're trying to tie it in. They're trying to tie it into the New 52 thing where, Wonder Woman is part of the Greek gods and part of the Roman Empire and stuff. They're trying to put little subversion. But it's just
exactly right. You know? They just slightly change the armor, slightly change things here and there to make it look Make it look more into that new gods, old gods.
Here's the
Here we
reveal.
go. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, PlayStation 2 called.
What's
They
that?
want their
Oh,
graphics
good.
back.
She knew. I am so glad she knew who Steppenwolf was,
She did.
because nobody in the theater, nobody else knew who that was that just came out of that portal or why he was there.
No,
Zero explanation for him. Zero explanation for why he's there for the mother boxes. Zero explanation of this giant tube just came down. Everybody's super chill and expecting it.
Now, that would be okay if they explained it later.
Anywhere.
But they don't.
Anywhere.
Like, that would be, I'd be totally fine with this scene just creating a sense of panic and that I don't know what's happening. I'm cool with that. But then explain it.
Any of it.
They don't explain it.
Well, that and I would be okay with that. And if he looked anything like what he looks like in the comics, because he doesn't even look like Steppenwolf. Art curator, dresses like that, and also does nothing on the weekend. This is about as good a cover. This is about as good a cover as Clark Kent at the Daily Planet. Here we go. Get ready for that tally count, sir. Oh, I'm going to lean in a little bit more.
He's searching the web, man.
Yeah.
He's just browsing.
Yeah.
This is what teenagers do. Oh,
Here
wait
we
a
go.
minute.
What's
he finds
this?
a picture
Oh,
of
my.
Bruce Wayne, then Batman, and then Batman with his mask off? Yeah, right.
He tapped into the Batcave cameras. However, we can add to that tally count because now Cyborg, Victor Stone, knows who Batman is.
You know what? So I'm gonna give that a half tally because that wasn't Bruce Wayne being an idiot.
Wasn't Bruce's technical fault. Here we go.
All right, flashback.
Big talk. Big
Exposition.
talk.
Here we go.
They get into a number of different things. They say they rose again as his parademons. They're not his parademons.
Yeah, they're Darkseids.
Are not Steppenwolves. They're Darkseid.
They're really dancing around even mentioning Darkseid. Don't you think that Wonder Woman's mom told her about Darkseid? Like, Steppenwolf's just the beginning.
He's not the big bad.
He's not the end.
Here we go.
Mother boxes combine to form the Unity with those priest dudes there.
Right. So mother boxes have nothing to do with a Unity.
Nope.
They're created by a scientist on Apocalypse using Element X, and they're generally thought to be sentient, miniaturized, portable supercomputers, but their true nature and origins are unknown. Unity, not in there at all. This next piece, zero reference to all of the characters that are now being teased, brought up, referenced, shown in this fight scene.
Yeah.
We're talking about old gods. We're talking about Green Lantern.
Hey, Green Lantern.
not just one. Out of nowhere, there's multiple Green Lanterns. Zero reference, zero backstory, zero.
There's
Zeus,
and Ares,
Fire Lightning, Ares. They come out of nowhere, and they say nothing about it other than that the old gods joined in the fight. And now, this is my big thing. Unity, broken up, one lightning bolt from Zeus, minimal blowback.
Yep.
Minimal blowback. You have to hold that in your mind. One lightning bolt from Zeus, boxes are separated, minimal blowback. This kills me. So the Atlanteans, Amazons, they secure their mother boxes in strongholds.
Yeah.
Then, what do? It's buried in the ground.
Put it in the ground.
They are world-changing engines, and we bury it in the ground.
Seems like the intelligent course of action.
This is off the grid.
This is off the grid, man.
His place is chained up.
He's got a chain and a broken fence, and he's powering enough tech to make sure everybody knows he's there.
That is lighting up. He has like 30 monitors in there.
That's incredible.
And he's off the grid.
And here comes another one. This is my favorite tally for the Bruce Wayne mess-ups here. He could throw anything at him.
Right.
Like, literally anything.
He could knock things over. He could just knock things over in there just to test things out.
Yeah.
He throws a literal battering at him. In every one of these situations, he doesn't know if they're actually joining his team, and he actually doesn't know where their allegiances lie.
Right, they're not established heroes.
Mm-mm.
They're not like, they've been saving people for a while now. And
Nope.
They're kids and renegades. He's watching Rick and Morty.
Barry even admits, I just pushed some people out of the way.
Yeah. And
That's
you
all
know
he's
Batman
done.
did his research.
You know, Batman always, he jumps in head first without doing much research on anything. That's what Batman's known for.
It's true. He's a loose cannon.
World's worst detective.
You're the Batman. And he doesn't deny it. He could just deny it, but he doesn't deny it.
She's talking to him now about that it would have been the Queen's responsibility to follow Steppenwolf and stop him. How is this all of a sudden fall on Arthur?
Yeah.
Arthur is not a part of Atlantis. If that mother box, which is a huge weapon that they all know that they were protecting, all of a sudden they're just going to put this responsibility on Arthur, who none of them trust, who's being shunned out of the Atlantean community. Are you kidding? They send no one else?
Yeah.
Mira, you just pawned off your responsibility on him.
And where's Orm? At this point, Orm is moving his way towards Ocean Master status. Where's he?
She's already dating him. So
Yeah.
she's already like a queen apparent. So like, no, actually, frankly, your responsibility. Did you just lose this massive world-changing weapon? Where did this giant rock that holds all of them together come from?
Yeah, it would make more sense if this was like part of his ship.
It was never even referenced. When you look back to the first part, which is the only thing we have to reference to, because we can't reference comics at this point, it was held by the priests. The priests walked the three things down. We can't even show consistency in the same
movie.
Yeah. So here also, we miss the reference to the New Gods, which has no backstory. We're just referencing the New Gods at this point, and only comic book readers would understand that reference because they haven't shown they haven't shown anything else in New Gods. They talk about the old gods. We have no idea what's happened with them. We know all of a sudden we're just referencing for the first time New Gods.
Yeah.
And finally, we reference Darkseid.
It's not like an Easter egg. Sometimes Easter eggs are meant to be in movies where they where they don't really mean anything. They're not going to further the story. They're not going to do anything to it. They're just in there for comic book fans to be like, "Ooh, I know that," right?
Yeah.
But this is like a crux of the story they're trying to tell. They're trying to tell
the source material.
Steppenwolf.
Where they're trying to go. Well, they're not really trying. I mean, they can't really count Steppenwolf because, again, we go back to the source material. The New 52, Steppenwolf is barely in it. So,
if they're trying to give him something,
and
this is
they
not
can't
an
even
Easter
get
egg
that
you go
right.
over.
They can't even get that right.
They can't. No.
And the problem here is, I hear what you're saying about the Easter eggs, Greg, but these Easter eggs are piling up.
Oh,
we
yeah.
had Easter eggs on from Batman v Superman on Darkseid. We had Easter eggs on Nightmare Batman. We had Easter eggs on the Green Lanterns that showed up in the final in that big battle. We had Easter eggs with Old Gods. We're about to see just Easter egg upon Easter egg upon Easter egg upon reference upon, like, it's like they're trying to build a movie like this was the last movie they would ever build. Like, it's the last movie Warner Brothers was ever going to do. And it's like, no, Warner Brothers,
make or break.
You are a massive studio. You are going to put out many, many more movies.
All right, first, wow, there's the first full reveal of Cyborg, and it looks just as bad as Steppenwolf. That is terrible. That is PlayStation 2 graphics all over again. The problem is, and I know they were going for, like, he's still growing and he's developing and he's, like, evolving and all that stuff. They're going for that. I know, I get that. But it looks like an unfinished design.
Over my whole body.
Yeah, it just looks unfinished. Yeah.
It looks like they just ran out of CGI budgeting and they were just like, well, that looks good enough. We'll just cut it in at the end with a full look for him. Old gods. You have the blood of the old gods in you. So we have a reference to old gods that has no backstory other than the pop-up to the original battle with Steppenwolf. But who would know that, since they didn't even point that out when the fight was happening? They didn't even point out who the old gods were when the fight was happening. The old gods died. How?
Yeah.
When? Are we just going to reference everything in DC Comics but explain nothing and provide no backstory for any of it? We're just going to throw a flippant, the old gods are dead, out there and we're not going to give any explanation for it?
Nope. Can you believe this guy was rendered around the same time they were rendering Thanos?
Technology came a long way in that 1 minute difference.
Technology came a long way in the fact that Marvel cares about their movies. Marvel played the long game. DC put out a rush job, and you can tell. You can see the difference.
Yo, so these mother boxes have now been called mother boxes, change engines, and perpetual energy matrices. Matrix.
What
None
are
of these names describe what it does. And even though that is a problem, just pick a name and stick with it through the whole movie.
we get Bruce Wayne saying that Superman is buried with his cells unable to decay, right? Last I checked, he had a giant hole through him. Is that all just healed up now? Like, does that... I don't know how that works.
We need to go back for a second here to this burying idea.
Yeah.
Okay. What does Superman draw all of his energy from, Greg?
I think it's that big yellow thing in the sky.
No, sun. The
sun.
sun. So what did we do to make sure he found? We put him under the ground? We put him under the ground in a box. Are we even sure he was dead? Man just keeps on messing up. What is our issue with putting stuff in the ground?
It keeps it safe.
Why are we even talking about bringing Superman back here? That's what I want to build up to here. Why are we having this discussion? You have Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg, and the Flash. Flash can transport, which he eventually does. He goes through people, through them, and just explodes them. All these people, and we're saying that they're not going to be able to stop Steppenwolf without Superman.
But they proved that wrong at the end of the movie.
Right.
When they obviously can handle Steppenwolf without Superman.
Whatever.
You see this? It's just the Flash and Cyborg digging up somebody's grave in Kansas. NBD. All right, here goes their plan, man. Bust it up.
So first off, they don't have power on this thing. So Barry just runs as far to the opposite side. He literally calls it the end of the line. There's no calculation here in terms of like how long it's going to take Barry to get to the chamber.
No.
How far they're like dropping this box from the ceiling to then like calculate out how much distance he needs to have running at what speed to be able to make sure that he's getting to the chamber at the exact right moment. So like, how are they doing this?
They're not.
He's just running? And by the way, his running, yes, I was a runner in college. I've never seen form like this, man.
Nope.
He's just throwing he's just throwing things from his body. He's like Gambit from X-Men throwing his deck of cards.
I also don't understand how Superman goes in a full suit and comes out in just pants. No shoes, no socks.
Hooked it.
Did his feet flex the shoes and socks off?
He hooked it, man. He hooked out of that.
Dude, he got some nasty Achilles.
Oh, man.
He's busting out of those shoes, man.
What mother box?
There it is. Mother box on the car.
No, like nobody just looks at him like, okay, you got Superman, you got mother box.
Yeah.
So, because right now, the most dangerous thing in this world is the mother box. It's actually not Superman yet.
Yep. It's the last one he needs.
Everyone goes over to Superman. Cyborg thinks he's scanning them. In the comics, the Eradicator drained all of his powers. We're just assuming he's coming back with everything ready to go out the gate? Out the gate. Fastest man in the world. Freeze breath is up. Laser beams coming out of my eyes. Flying around. Super strength. Like, come on.
He's got him, man. Look at that. There's his laser beams.
Arthur, we need to restrain him. Wonder Woman, if you and Arthur could restrain Superman, you wouldn't need him to be fighting Steppenwolf.
Or, if Wonder Woman and Arthur could restrain Superman, then he shouldn't be that strong against Steppenwolf.
Right.
Pick one.
Right. What, like, something in terms of powers has to line up.
Yep.
Then why does Superman need anyone else as a part of the Justice League?
In this movie, he doesn't. Okay, here goes another. This one is actually comic booky, right? Batman drinks?
Yeah.
He's pouring like whiskey here. Yeah, Bruce always drank the bubbly. He always like pretended.
Yo, you need to add another stroke here. This is a carryover tally. It reminds you, she knows Bruce
Oh, right.
from
Yeah,
Batman v Superman.
that's true. He unmasked himself. And if she forgot, Alfred's the one who contacted her about the big guns.
Exactly.
Well, he wouldn't be a good hero if nobody knew his secret identity. Come on.
Right.
But we're also about to see like one of the biggest teases of what should have been and what was kind of teased at in Batman v Superman in the terror sequence, in the dream sequence where he sees the future. This like idea of like, oh, okay, so this is what they're making. They're making what Batman feared in his dream, right? They're making that nightmare sequence.
Right.
Like, this is what's going to happen if we don't stop this. That was really cool.
Yeah.
But it should have happened like 6 movies from now, and it should have been with Darkseid. It shouldn't have been right now with Steppenwolf and over in like 30 minutes of all CG fighting.
There's literally, this is the pattern. A reference, no explanation. Reference, no explanation. Reference,
no explanation.
This is insane.
Well, what's almost worse than the no explanation is that there's also no follow-through.
You can't hint at Flashpoint and not do it. You can't talk about new gods and not do it. You can't show Nightmare Batman, not do it. You can't talk about Darkseid and not do it. Like, you can't do all these things and then not do it. It's ridiculous.
At this point, they believe it too. They're like, well, Superman's not coming. I guess we're just going to have to try and do this.
Why don't they, like, any of them trust their own abilities?
Well, Batman does. He flies this plane right to this giant electrical thing.
Batman doesn't know, because we're setting up for the plan here. Literally, his plan is to kill himself.
Well, my question is, how did his missiles break through that electrical thing?
His money.
Yeah, that's true. He's rich. He's super rich.
They were money tipped. Money tipped.
That's right. $1 billion tips.
Why does this alarm, this broadcast, why does this alarm bother the parademons at all?
No, but did you see it? Did you see it? Here,
Yeah.
look again. I've justified it. Here we go. Alfred's there. Dude, he turns it up. Watch his hand. Look at that. Look at that. He turns the dial to like 11.
It's totally justifiable. Totally justifiable. Yeah.
Even the purple things growing out of the ground look so bad.
So much CGI, man. So much CGI.
Yeah, this entire third act is just computer generated. Typical DC movies, though, it's always just kind of like, we don't know what to do here, so we're just going to put a lot of CGI.
The Barry Tripp, still in the Speed Force.
Yep, lightning all around him.
He's running and moving so fast, no one can see him.
True.
He's in the Speed Force. Somehow, in the Speed Force, Batman can see him, sees that he's falling, shoots his grappling hook, catches him in the Speed Force, and helps him to the wall.
Because he's Batman.
I love Batman. Yeah, Batman lover here.
Yeah.
But you can't see him in the Speed Force. You're not going to catch him. Knocks her around, knocks him around, gets up top, rips off.
Oh, yeah, he tears off Cyborg's leg, right? Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. Here comes the hope.
Here, Superman's here. Superman's here, everybody. Fight's over.
It's done. Look, he's smiling.
Fight's over. Everyone go home. Now allow Superman to demonstrate every superpower known to mankind ever right here in this fight scene.
We'll put it up on the screen. Super speed.
Super speed. Super strength. Right there. Punches him down through a wall. Super hearing.
So running at the Speed Force with this truck, he just killed all of them.
All of them are dead.
They're all dead.
With Flash.
Yep.
Dead.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Big hit.
Here they start beating the crap out of him for the first time. For the first time, laser eyes. Every superpower known to mankind.
Now, Cyborg, this is where they're pulling the cubes apart. Right? Yep. Cyborg said that the blast would probably kill everybody. So everyone needs to get out of there. And now it's a pretty powerful blast, but it's only like 10 feet around.
And remember, this is the thing that I told us to be thinking back on.
Right.
Back on from the beginning. Freaking Zeus was able to just lightning bolt this thing, and they separated, and it knocked everybody around them.
Yep.
One single lightning bolt took all of this to separate these boxes, and Superman feels like he is feels like he would rather be dead, and Cyborg's talking about his his CGI toes. No. Are you kidding me? Oh, by the way, his blood's purple for no reason.
True. Well, he's an alien.
And
Freeze breath!
And so earlier in the movie, it is stated that the parademons are Steppenwolf's creation, right?
Yes.
Now they are attacking him with no explanation other than he is fearful. We know
they're attracted to fear.
They're attracted to fear, but they also love him because he recreated them through the power of the mother boxes. Also, biggest boom tube of all time just opens up. Where are they going? Like what?
Still no explanation.
Are we just cool with him leaving through a boom tube? There's no question about no one questions this. No one. Where are they going? How is he getting away? Like, what is on the other side of that tube that can just be opened up anywhere, even underwater? Are you kidding me? These are not questions you are asking right now.
I don't have any problem with the first stinger. It's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
The second stinger, though,
that's the one. That's the one I get. Let's do the reference again.
That's right. Just one more chance to make me angry after I sit through like 30 minutes of credits. Yeah. One more chance before I leave.
Foaming, frothing at the mouth at this point.
Yeah.
Just furious. Easter egg, Legion of Doom. So what are we actually building towards here? What are we building towards? Are we building towards New Gods?
Right.
Are we building towards Legion of Doom? Are we building towards Darkseid? Are we building towards Flashpoint? Do we have any idea where any of this is going?
Nope.
So, after having watched that mess for the last 2 hours, thank you guys for going through it with us. We hope that you got as much out of this therapeutic, stress-relieving, and anger management experience as we have. We know that we haven't hit on everything because in this one, there's probably no way we possibly could have hit everything. If you have anything else, please leave it in the comments below. We'll be looking out for some of those ways that we can continue to make sure we're staying on top of the mistakes that every single one of these movies is making.
Yeah, awesome, guys. Thank you so much, again, just for sticking through it with us. We are looking to do our next video here. We're going to put some choices down in the description below, so read them over. If you guys can think of a fifth one that maybe we didn't think of, leave that in the comments below as well. But let us know which one you think we should tackle next, and then we'll put that up for our next video. We'll take the most numbers that we see down there and put it up. So, guys, make sure, don't forget, like and subscribe. Hit that bell if you want to hear what's coming up next. We'll see you guys in our next video.
And it's okay, because we're angry too.